Welcome to What's in Your Data?
Brought to you by Melissa. Howdy, my name is Daniel Lee, and I'm the Chief Data Wrangler at Melissa.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a Software Engineer Team Lead here at Melissa.
Special guest.
Special guest today.
Another one of those, huh?
Yeah, it's another one of those special guest episodes.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have someone here who has nearly 18 years of data experience, which makes him data legal.
Ooh.
Okay. So, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my name is Joseph Vertido, Director of Product Development here at Melissa. Again, as they've already mentioned, I've been with Melissa for almost 18 years now, so that's a pretty long time, as you can imagine. And I started out as a junior programmer, QA analyst, moved my way up to sales engineering, product management, and now Director of Product Development here at Melissa. And I work with a lot of core products here. We have our Personator product. I don't know if I should get into all of these right now, but Personator being our primary consumer database API that allows us to really, go into deep dive with customer information. I deal with Global Express entry for things like auto completion for global addresses, Global Phone for international phone verification, Unison, which is our, all-in-one data quality platform for both the cloud and on-prem, and Smart Mover for NCOA moves, just to name a few of the things that I deal with. But there's a lot more data quality things involved.
Just a few. I mean,
Tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
That it really is, because
Definitely.
with 18 years, if he did one thing a year, that should be at least 18 things he should have listed.
Yeah.
But he only gave us tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
Well, how did you get to here? What was your life like before Melissa? Do you even remember that far back?
Wow, that's been really a long time ago. But yeah, I think right off of college, I would consider Melissa as probably my first real job. It's been a lot of side jobs for me during college and even after college. And then luckily enough, I was able to make my way into Melissa, which I didn't out of all the interviews I did, I think this was the last one on my list that I thought I was going to get accepted to. But now here I am, thankfully. So yeah.
Okay. Now, what was your first job here? You mentioned you started here
as a junior programmer, a QA analyst.
Okay, programming. Yeah. But were you always interested in data? Is that what your degree was?
I am a computer science major. So originally I wanted to focus on programming, but doors opened up for me, and now I'm here.
Okay.
I'm happy where I am.
That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, why do you like working with data then?
I think data is really both just, I consider it to be practical, and at the same time it's very impactful. Almost every company will have some sort of data, no matter what it is, whether you're working with, customer data or product data, trends, analytics. I think data is really what makes, the world go round, so to speak. So yeah, it's a very impactful, information is quite impactful when dealing with in the organization, right? Yeah. And people would normally collect data for a reason, so we want to be able to use that. We want to develop trust in our databases in order for us to be able to use it. Garbage data is just going to end up costing us more than helping us out at the end. Yep. And it really puts a smile on my face whenever I see companies, employing their data quality techniques from beginning to end, where all the way from where data comes in to when you store it, and then all the way to when you actually make use of the data and perform your analytics and reporting on it. I think I love seeing that kind of, when people do that.
Clearly, you're very passionate about that because, yeah.
Yeah, I've only been working on this for about 18 years now, so
Sure.
yeah, it's really my bread and butter, and I've been living and breathing this thing for quite some time now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important that we have trust and we build confidence in our data. I think that's really one of the things that I advocate for.
You said you mentioned a word, and I think Anna and I looked at each other because you said the word garbage.
Yep.
Yep. And here on this show, our listeners have heard us say garbage in,
garbage out.
Garbage out.
Yeah. Yep. You know it, right?
Of course, yeah.
But so we call it GIGO. Yeah, you heard of it.
Yeah.
So GIGO.
Yeah.
And you said bread and butter. It is what you eat, breathe, and live. But let's be honest. What do you do when you're not working with data? You must have some other interests. and
Yeah, I
hobbies.
mean, okay. So kind of going off topic a little bit, I think ever since I was young, I'm a very analytical kind of person. So I like problem solving. I like playing board games, especially the ones that involve strategy.
Oh, nice.
When I,
Dungeons and Dragons.
well, I'm not going to name any specific ones, but maybe I don't know if you've played Hitler, for example. I think yeah, I like that one. And on my spare time, I actually like playing games like Mahjong, for example. I think it's
Oh, no way. That's so fun.
Online with people.
no, with actual friends.
Oh,
I
like
have
a
I have
table?
a group, yeah, an actual table, and we even have that electric table that
That was my
Oh.
next question.
we have that.
So you just click a button and it's
Yeah,
does
yeah,
it?
that really saves a lot of time. But anyway, I like it because it's actually more intellectually stimulating than you think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problem-solving aspects to that, and
Sure.
puzzle solving. I love it. It's just
The strategy, right?
Yeah. I'm never sleepy. I can keep playing it.
Mahjong.
It keeps me going. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
And I'm a millennial, so I grew up playing video games. I don't play as much anymore now, but recently I played this game. It's called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It won Game of the Year, I believe.
Oh, I don't
and if
think
you know, it's a masterpiece of a game. So yeah, and then for sports, I do badminton, a lot of badminton, and I'm actually one of the directors for our badminton organization, and we have about 250 members.
Have you played at the OC Badminton Club?
Yes,
on Catella?
I have, but I don't go there because that's probably one of the most expensive courts out there. Yeah, they
So you know
charge
all
a lot.
cheaper courts.
I do, yeah. But you have to drive all the way to San Gabriel Valley for that. But
That's where your
what we have
team
to
is.
do. That's
You're-
where the organization
It's a club.
is.
Oh, you have an
It is a club.
organization.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. President.
I'm a treasurer for that.
Oh, treasurer.
Oh, handling the monies.
Yeah, exactly. Counting. As if I don't have enough work here, right?
Wow, that's nice. So
Yeah.
Different kind of work.
Yeah, of course.
yeah, and I think because you said you live and eat and breathe this stuff, you love data, so you don't really consider it work. It's just something
yeah.
else you do.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, like Anna said, you sound very passionate about data and badminton. Yeah.
But working with data though, I'm sure it's all fun and games until you run into problems, right?
Oh, it always is.
It's always
Right,
like that.
right.
So what are some common problems that you've ran into working with data for the past 18 years?
Right. Well, when we talk about data problems, it's actually a very, very wide spectrum, right? There's so many things involved, and you can define what a data problem is. However, there's so many ways to define what a data problem is. But here at Melissa, we focus a lot on. I think it's really four things that we focus on. First and foremost, being inconsistency of data. We have standardization issues, we have parsing issues, formatting issues. These are very common, very standard problems, and they exist in almost any type of data domain out there, and this is very often what we see. And then we also have what's called incomplete data. You have gaps and holes and missing information in your database. As much as possible, we want data to be complete. We don't want any missing information out there. And then we also have the issue of redundancy, data deduplication, being able to consolidate all that information into a single version of the truth is what we call it, the golden record, right? And this is, again, something that we really advocate for when it comes to data quality. And the nuances and the challenges involved in data matching and fuzzy matching in general, I think, is one of the more complicated aspects of data quality. It's very there's a lot of science involved into it, more than you would think. But thankfully here at Melissa, we've done all those analyses for you, and hopefully we could make it a little bit easier when doing data matching and deduplication. But yeah, redundancy definitely is a problem. And last but certainly not the least, I think inaccuracy is one of the things that a lot of people fight against when it comes to data quality issues, because what's most important is that we're able to trust and have confidence in our data. And inaccurate data just tends to, it makes your data become unworkable. And unworkable data, again, it will cost you more than it will save you at the end. The time and effort that we spend into gathering all this information, and the time and the money we spend into gathering all this data, it shouldn't really cost you more at the end of the day. So trust and confidence in data, really big thing, accuracy. So I think those are the four main things for me.
So to repeat for our listeners here, IIRI, inconsistent, incomplete, redundant and inaccurate. Is that
We're
right?
all about acronyms here.
Yep.
Yeah. So we throw a lot of acronyms, but IIRI. So those are the four that Joseph here has covered for us, and it kind of builds. Those are different problem areas that you've seen
I think
in
those
any
are
data collection that people do.
almost always, it's going to be always those four, no matter what you're working with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you say that with your work here at Melissa and the different solutions you've come up with and the science that you put into packages for your customers, those are the four data problems you're trying to solve?
I think we've already addressed a lot of those here at Melissa. I mean, we are a data company and we are a data quality company. And we have, as I mentioned earlier in the interview, in the introduction, we've come up with several products that address a lot of these data quality issues, all the way from your formatting, standardization, inaccuracy, redundancy. We have solutions for almost any type of data quality issues, and one thing that we really try and solve for is that, there are context-specific knowledge bases or context-specific problems or domain-specific problems rather, that are more involved. When you're working with addresses, for example, it's one thing to know if an address is formatted correctly, but it's a whole different ballgame if you're trying to figure out if that address is actually deliverable or not. And this is where the concept of knowledge-based driven data quality falls into place, right? Having the knowledge and the background on specific domains is how we empower our data quality tools, our data quality solutions. So having Melissa, over 3 decades of collecting data, all this historical information and current data that we've consolidated into various solutions and that we deploy for our clients in order for them to be able to leverage the solutions that we've come up with all of these knowledge-based driven information, I think is a really powerful tool that we provide here. I'm sure you'd agree.
Yeah, no. Joseph mentioned over 3 decades. Actually, for our listeners, Melissa's been around since 1985. So we're celebrating our 40th year, closing up our 40th year. So we can now say over 4 decades.
Oh my, okay.
Over 4 decades.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But it's just showing the breadth and depth that Melissa and Joseph have brought to solving these data problems for our customers in our specific domains.
Amazing,
Yeah. But all these concepts that you're talking about, again, inconsistent, incomplete, redundant, and inaccurate, can apply to any domain.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be addresses or
No,
emails.
it does not. It does not. I mean, again, we let ourselves get involved with a lot of different types of domains, but it's certainly not limited to that because, again, data can literally be anything. You could be working on a math problem, and that's data in itself. So, yeah, it's all across the board, I would say.
Well, I know you talked a little bit, the tip of the iceberg of the products that we might have, that you have had a big hand in. What are some cool things you've seen people do with those products to solve their data problems?
So tell us a product you're thinking about, what you thought it would do, but then maybe you've seen customers do something different, and you're like, wow, what?
That's actually so I'll share you a story with one of our clients here. And I'm not going to mention their name, but just to give you a clue, these guys is one of the 3 major package delivery services here in the U.S. So it's one of them, just to give you a clue. That should give you an idea.
Okay.
So they had this problem where they came to us, right? And they were like, hey, we have this problem and we have bad data, we have bad customer data, and there's just no way for us to resolve it, right? You look online, you check databases, or you try to resolve them manually through manual intervention, through human intervention. They just could not fix that data. And it's something that they didn't want to throw away, and they wanted to fix somehow. Well, here at Melissa, we have what's called, again, our consolidated consumer database, which is what we actually call the Melissa Identity Key Database, right? And this Melissa, or MIC, as we would call it, MIC database, houses a huge amount of data, spanning back over a decade of both historical and current information for pretty much almost all individuals here in the U.S. and other countries as well. But it has things like demographic information. It has, again, your historical move addresses. It has information on, for example, your various contact informations, email addresses, phone numbers. It's just a huge source for contact information. And through this database that we have and that we've compiled in Melissa throughout the years, we actually created a new product for them just so they could leverage this data in a way that they'll be able to use it in order to solve their business problem, right? And by using this consumer database of ours, they were actually able, and again, this isn't something that they could automate, but using, human intervention, human assisted guidance, they were able to actually fix a lot of the problematic records that they had and still be able to make use of those. I thought it was cool. I personally, and it just shows how we're able to cater to just about, it could be like the most ridiculous problem you can think of, and we could probably have a solution for that,
So what I'm hearing you're saying is we had a product meant to do a certain thing.
Yes.
But this customer of yours had a very unique problem, logistically speaking, to them.
Right.
But you're able to take something from a product and adapt it to their specific use case.
Exactly.
And solve it.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Just because we have so much data here at Melissa, and it can be used in many different ways.
Yeah.
It can be used to solve many different types of problems. It's just a matter of how you would leverage that. So.
Yeah. Our data wears a lot of hats. Yeah.
So, with that said, it leads into a perfect question, which is how do you continue innovating or improving product lines or data sets?
Yeah.
So, I think one of the things that we have been working on in the past decade, I would say, and, thank you to admin and their group, is really the globalization of everything that we've done here. In the past, we were very US-centric, maybe some Canada handling out there, but I think in the long run, being able to share all of these solutions that we have at a global scale really, I think, is an important step for us. And I think we're already there, right? We're just trying to expand as much as we can globally. And I think acquiring even more data, I think, is one of the secrets to being able to perform all sorts of different data quality solutions and solving different types of data quality problems. So again, the secret is being able to build on that knowledge base by acquiring bigger and better data, no matter where it is, and maybe even eventually leveraging AI as well. We'd like to do some sort of assisted intelligence here at Melissa to both leverage technology and data and human intervention in order to be able to come up with an even more efficient and more smart and more intelligent program for data quality. So
Okay.
I think that's...
Yeah, because we always want to be accurate. So we want to have the best data, current accurate data. We want to be consistent, and we want to be complete. So oh my God, I almost forgot. This is why I always use the acronyms. Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much, Joseph, for explaining what you do, the problems you've seen, and how you've resolved everything, and some fun stories along the way. I learned something about you today, Joseph, I didn't know before.
Board games, right?
Yeah.
Board
Board games and
That's
badminton.
the one thing.
Yeah, board games and badminton.
Mahjong, don't forget that.
Mahjong, yes.
Oh, yes.
Can't forget
Yeah.
Mahjong.
No, you know it's legit when he has an electronic mahjong table.
That's pretty fancy. That's pretty fancy. Well, but yeah, no, thank you so much again for joining us today. Daniel, is there anything else, any other final questions you want to ask Joseph, or are we good?
No final questions. I hope to our listeners, if you heard something interesting or you want to expand upon it or further questions, please email us at podcast@melissa.com and just say, hey, you got a question about what Joseph said, and we'll get him back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Anna, Daniel. I enjoyed being here. And, if you've worked with me before, hello. If I haven't worked with you, then I look forward to doing so. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you like this video, if you like this content, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you can be notified when we have a new video out, and so that we can share our videos with people who have similar interests as well. So again, thanks for joining, and until next time.
Stay data curious.